Hello and welcome back. It's another double header. This time it's Arsenal in the Premier League, and then we take on a team I can't say in the Champions League. Hello, boys and girls, and welcome back to Sunday League, to Champions League. I, of course, am Millers. Thank you very, very much for joining us at this late stage in the journey. And you're looking at a team that are still in all four competitions, despite the Carabao Cup draw doing its best to knock us out at every possible stage. Yes, that's right. That means we beat Arsenal in the last round to secure ourselves a place in the quarter-finals of the Cup against Newcastle. Again, very, very difficult draw. If we get anywhere in this Cup, no one can say we haven't done it the hard way, because we absolutely have. Last time out, we actually played Leipzig in the Champions League. As you know, we got the win there, which was lovely. We then travelled to West Ham. Fairly full strength, in fairness, but it was a dour affair and we got a draw. We'll take the point, though. It was away from home. It's not the worst result in the world. And then we travelled to the Emirates and managed to get a win on penalties. And as you can see, there were absolutely boatloads of them. Kulusevski missed the first one, which didn't set us off in the greatest of steads. But actually, from there, the boys didn't miss. And that put us through, and we rotated. So we did very, very well, and we'll take that, and we're through, and it's not at that much of an expense in terms of fitness. However, we are going to play an aggressive schedule now of 2 games in 3 days, where we're going to go fairly full strength for both, given the importance of our Champions League journey, right? That's the whole idea of the save. So, it's been an interesting one. We're still sat, from a Premier League perspective, we're sat in 4th. However, United have got a game in hand, so they could knock us into 5th. But again, that's all right. You know, we're not massively concerned about what that looks like in terms of our position in the Premier League. Constantly got issues with this guy. He handed in a transfer request. I think I probably told you about this. He handed in a transfer request. I played him a couple of games. He said, it's all right, I want to stay. Then I dropped him. He wants to leave. Now he wants to talk about his playing time again. He's frustrated. So that's disappointing. Okay, let's have a look. What can we say to him to placate him? Because I do want to keep him. I can't give you the football I want, but I'd rather not lose you. I don't want to arrange a loan. I don't want to see him go out the window. And in that case, I look to move you on. I want to keep him. You're right, I apologise for not keeping my word. That's one of them things where if I say that to him and I don't keep my word, the rest of the squad get upset, right? So I think I'm going to have to say this, but it looks like he's going to have to move on. And that's the way that goes, right? I'd rather have Ferreira, if I'm honest. Young, Brazilian, loves to run at players. However, this kid can finish. So it's a real difficult one. So he's handed in a transfer request. We are where we are. And we'll move on. Again, in my mind, right, we're not talking about 3 and 4 seasons out anymore. We're talking about this season. So maintaining a decent level of squad morale is absolutely everything. Whilst we wait for this to tick through, I've realised I've not really been asking you to do what I'm supposed to ask you to do again, which is like and subscribe and all of that stuff. I do, Editor Carl puts those things in with the bell and asks you to subscribe. But I really would appreciate it. It does mean more than I can possibly tell you in terms of the increase in support in the channel. It does help me in terms of morale, if nothing else. But apparently it does things to the algorithm. So, things I don't understand. The fans and the board are expecting a draw. They were expecting to get beat in the Carabao Cup. So, we compounded expectations there. Money, Champions League money, all about the money. We're okay. We're okay in terms of fitness. Tedesco's on his way back. Still looks very, very good. Very, very pleased with him, and he's a good sort of backup as well. So whether he will take over from Malval, not quite sure. He probably will. I think he's probably more rounded than Malval. Where are you, son? Where are you? Have I missed you? Bear with eyes. There we go. Okay. So Tedesco's more well-rounded, certainly defensively, stronger mentally, stronger physically, he's quicker. But obviously Malval's got that aerial reach. Having said that, he's not netted once this season and he has played 9 games. So maybe it is Tedesco to come in and try and take that position back. I don't think he'll do it to get today, given he's just returning from fitness. But he may well do it. He may well do it in the Champions League. We were balanced last time out. We were away. I'm probably going to stick there. I don't think I'm going to move to balanced immediately. Arsenal are a very, very, very good team at this level right now. And therefore, I'm probably going to stick being a little bit more cautious. And we'll see how things pan out. Load of changes to make because obviously, like I said, I rotated heavily for the Carabao Cup game. So we're going to go relatively first team. Malval's going to come back in for Rosa. Get him back in the squad. Moreno and Scriglia, they started. Bozza, in you go, son. Super David Okori up top. That's not going to change, so get used to that. Subs-wise, how are we doing? Van de Weeven's on the bench. That's good. We've got him ready in the wings. To rule, yeah, on you go. Tarule's going to go on. He's had his fitness test. He could play, he could feature, so we'll let him do that. And then Kulusevski in there for field, probably, because we've got Riggy and Montel who can do jobs in the centre of the park. And Tommy is still, whilst he's a wonder kid, he's still developing. You know, not necessarily ready for the North London derby immediately. Okay, that's us. That's how we're going to line up. Yes, I'm aware, again, it's just tiredness. It's just tiredness with this squad, and we've not got the strength in depth to be able to rotate massively. This time it looks like Arsenal have gone fully first team. They rotated 1 or 2 for the Carabao Cup, which is understandable. We're all doing the same thing, right? So that's the way that goes. Make sure you give it everything you've got. Maybe pump our fists. Yeah, okay. Make sure we get our lads fired and ready to rock so that we go into this as strong as we physically can. Joe, what are we talking about? How do you feel ahead of the second match against Arsenal in quick succession? Yeah, I mean, it's just another day at the office, I suppose, is the right answer. But I don't think most of the same. They're a tough proposition. We know what we're up against, absolutely. What's your secret behind a good home record? Hard work. Graft, always, Joe. Grafting. I'm pleased with the team's record in front of goal. Yeah, I'm pleased he's going well in that regard. Okay. There's our lineup. Let's see what we can do. I'm not even giving the Arsenal manager any kind of shrift. I think it's Pep Guardiola at this stage, so if it was, I'd be giving him a love. Big fan of Pep. But in game world, I'm just saying, do you know what? This is my house. This is my house. Okay, we're the early kick for the day. So, nice 12:30 kick for everybody to be watching on the telly. We're on the ball in their half. Elif's done well to get into the box. He's driven across. Oh, I don't know how we've not scored there. That was a really nice bit of work from Elif. Coyote back inside. Moreno with a sloppy ball. Coyote wins it back, though, and we get to rotate. Back. Can we play this? Go across. Okay. I mean, they've worked their way out of it, but for me, you know, they should have gone into space. Amarilla, again, pulled across. And Elif, who started the move 2 minutes ago, has just netted at the back stick from a ball in from Amarilla. And what do I know about horseshoeing? They worked their way out nicely. Amarilla beat his man, cuts inside, and then pulls one right across the corridor. The keeper's just lackadaisical, and it's tapped in at the back stick, and we take an early lead, which I'm delighted about. That makes it all the much more difficult for Arsenal to come back. We've got an XG of 1.71 at this stage, which makes me think I was right before that we probably should have scored before we got our second opportunity. Arsenal are on the ball now, although we step in and Bozza takes it. Bozza's going to run at his man. Can he find feet? He can. Moreno. Bit better this time. Good gaps. Amarilla's through. What can we do this time? We went right to the byline. Moreno fires high and wide. Better though. Better. We've looked strong in possession and we've definitely created chances, which is really all you can ask for. And that's what we've got going forward with this squad, isn't it? A load of firepower going forwards. Defensively, still concerned though, really nervous. Every time they're on the attack, I'm nervous. We've created loads. The scoreboard doesn't really reflect it. We're 1 up. We should be more than that. But we have created those chances. I don't think that's lying to the lads. Gavi's been dragged. Gavi was a lad I looked at in the summer, by the way, but he wanted ridiculous money. And I wasn't prepared to pay it for an ageing player. As Arsenal hit the post, Amaratu clips clear. Alif's on the ball. Alif back to Amaratu. And we look to move out of that highlight. 8 shots, 2 of which have been on target. Not as clinical as you'd like. Probably going to look to throw Van Duyven in a minute, as Corey hasn't really featured. Can we make it to 70 minutes? We can. We're going to make those changes now as Arsenal make a tranche of changes themselves. Mayer's a very good player, by the way. Definitely first team. Let's have a quick look then. What are we going to do? How are we doing in terms of fitness? Scariglia could do with a rest. Moreno has got slightly more in the tank, so we're going to bring on Riggy. It also helps that Scariglia is booked, so we'll do that. Van Duyven for a Corey. On you go. Gertz is apprehensive. Why are you apprehensive, son? I'd like to throw you in, if I'm honest. Always does my nutting. Alif playing very, very well. Very, very well. As is Amarilla. Maybe we say Kulusevski on for Kuzmanovic. Kulusevski knows what this fixture's all about, so hopefully his experience is going to see us through. We sat there with an XG of 2. 1-0, still a very nervy scoreline though. Coyote looks like he's given everything. Rosso D could come on. Free kick deep in our half, I don't like that, but we've kept it. Played a nice triangle. Again, I'd be looking for us to turn back and switch. We've tried to play it in such a compact area that we've lost it, but Moreno steps in. What can he see? Nothing. Gets tackled. Too slow on the ball. Marilla, or Mayer, how he goes. Well in Amaratu, just stand now. Voss from distance, and we kept him to shoot from distance. We'll take that. Again, though, we just need to be a bit more tidy with our possession. Go across. There we go. That triangle, that's what you like to see. Creates the pockets. Kulusevski, can you see gaps? Coyote's on the run. Coyote takes on his fullback and he's boxed early. Kulusevski on the volley. Oh, what was I talking about? Experience. Absolutely superb finish from Kulusevski. He's still got it, even though he's 34. Fantastic, and he's made up for that penalty miss in the Carabao Cup there with this finish. Van Duyven causes problems, but Kulusevski from distance, absolutely superb. The substitution absolutely justified now too, but Arsenal have got a kick-off highlight. Babadi over to Leek, well in by Rig. Get your shape back. Mayer rotates back to Cenk, and we're happy with that. Force them back, but just keep our shape. Keep our shape. Van Duyven, he's nipped in, he's made a mistake. Can you finish? Punish him. Oh. He did really well there. He scored another one like that, if you recall, earlier in the season, where he's made the keeper make a mistake. Amarilla looking for Cooper. Can't find him. Let the ball do it. We're okay. We're okay. Throw in. Absolutely fine. 2.4 in terms of XG, and we're looking more like it now. Poor ball from Kulusevski gives Arsenal a chance to win the thing back. Mayer again. He's been their threat since they brought him on. Ball finds Leek. Leek clips to Martinelli. Martinelli steps inside, and Babadi, it looks like he got a flick on it. It's going to be a nervy last 4 minutes as they get the ball and work their way back. Mayer just played inside, and this clip from Leek was nice. Martinelli steps inside Coyote, and yeah, Babadidi just flicks it with his Swede into the far corner. Nervy last 4. We're going to hold it in terms of the personnel on the pitch as the time ticks away, and we take the 3 points in the league, which is fantastic for morale, fantastic in the dressing room, outstretched arms, really well done beating our rivals. And off we go to the Champions League. David, you've caught me in a good moment. How can I help? A few hairy moments. Yes, exactly right. We just want to make sure we get the wins. A win over our rivals feels better. Yes, it's one for the fans as much as anything. Thank you for all your superlatives. Really appreciate that. We can do whatever we set our minds to. Aimed at the players, aimed at the players. Make sure they understand what I'm thinking. Okay. Oh, here we go. Here we go. Why Ferreira? Okay. Santiago. Andrea, Dejan. They're influential though. Okay, we're not sure what you have against him, but it's concerning for a few of us. Okay, I understand. What we're going to say. In that case, I can only apologise. Promise to think of alternative dealing with issues in the future. Yeah, what I would like to say is really, I made a decision that I thought was best for the team. This is the challenge with this challenge in particular, right? Because I've got to keep their morale high. 2 out of 3 of those are going to play week in, week out. 1 is the vice captain. Okay, raise hands. Let's make a promise. You're welcome. You're welcome. Absolutely right. We're going to pump our fist and say it was very positive. I don't know why we're pumping our fist in a meeting with 3 players, but nonetheless, I want to reduce the number of unhappy players. I do want to do that, in fairness. We've got an excellent dressing room. Good managerial support, which is a bit harsh considering what we've done, but there we go. Right, look, you're going to join me next time when we take on Zhirinsky. So the next time you see me, we'll be in the dressing room. I'll catch you shortly. And welcome back. So here we are in the dressing room, just picking our final selection for the game against Zhirinsky. The scouts, by the way, couldn't compile any data for me against these because the Serbian league obviously doesn't really, feature in our game. So the data we've got is limited. So we are going to go fairly strong to start with. But what I would like to try and do is make some changes as soon as it's physically possible in reality to make sure that we rotate, because we've got City next. And we've got players who are on the struggle bus already, even though it's only November, in terms of needing a rest. Scarigli is one, but he's going to start. And I've rested Nicky Cooper because the physio, the sports scientists, they're all telling me he needs a rest. So I'll give the lad a rest, which means Tedesco gets to come back into the squad, and we've moved Rosa over onto the right-hand side. I'm pretty sure, though, he is left-footed. He is not ideal. Body shape-wise, in terms of the way he's going to position himself, not ideal. You don't really want a left footer on that side. You don't really want a right footer on that side unless they're in these positions, which essentially means you're looking for them to invert. In this case, we're not looking for them to invert. I want them really just to do what I want them to do, which is defend the thing. Do what you're there to do. Do I want you to step out with it? Not really. Not really. Your job is to get the ball further forwards, and that left foot on that side does worry me. I hope this isn't foreshadowing. Let's see, I suppose. But we're going to keep it as it was in terms of that forward 5. These guys that will break forward. So you've got the forward 3 there, Akori, and then ideally Moreno to get into these areas to support. We're going to keep it like that, and all being well, if we can get an early lead, touch copious amounts of wood, we will look to try and make these changes. Not this one. We're going to try and give him 90 minutes if we can. Let's see where we can get to then. Everyone's relatively pleased with the selection. You should be. It's pretty much first team. Thanks, Anton. Maxwell, he's not short of fitness. I know. Seeing him daily. Okay? Stop asking questions. Right. Outstretched arms. What we saying? The pressure isn't off. The pressure isn't off. Absolutely, it's not. Okay? There's no excuses. Let's go and win our home games. And actually, that's really important. Again, if we can get 3 points here, that puts us on, I think, 7. Is that right? 7 from 9. I'll take that. Gavin Shepherd, how can I help? You come into this one in good form whilst your opponents do not. No idea. It's not about complacency at all. We've got to be focused. Do you think a side will find a problem? No, absolutely not. My players work hard, train hard, and they're professional. It's the worst defence in the UEFA Champions League. Oh, if we get beat here, we're in trouble, aren't we? Don't know what that voice was. You must consider Tottenham favourites to win. I'm not in the business of making pre-match. Oh. Forgot about the music, didn't I? Forgot about the music. This is really one of the main joys, and I forgot about it. Bulbasic. He's been highlighted as the main threat as Bulbasic. But again, in terms of his stats, not fantastic. I will be honest with you. I'm going to be devastated if we don't get anything but a convincing win from this, as the lads walk along the purple carpet, facing the men in suits on their knees on the pitch. Again, striking tracksuit. That's what we've seen twice now. Look at little David Okorie there, ready to do a job for me. Looking for a hattie from him today. That's a big game, isn't it? Dortmund versus Inter. Massive. Right, we're underway. We've had 3 shots, 2 on target, nothing of note yet, but corner, Amarilla, boxes, falls to Tedesco, and Coyote. I mean, that's his first goal of the season. I can't remember many goals he scored for us. That's a lovely finish, and we take the lead with 10 minutes gone. A nice clip ball from Amarilla into the centre, though. You're probably looking for the back post, but Tedesco does really well to find players in a pocket of space, and he just passes it in the far corner, and we take that early lead that we really wanted. 1-0, 4 shots, 3 on target, with a decent XG, and we've kept the ball well. Can we capitalise? A Leaf, back to Gertz, back to a Leaf. What have you got, son? Tries to square it, but went a little bit too deep, and we get nothing out of it. Okay, 26 minutes. Really looking for something out of this to make sure we can try and make changes as quick as poss. Moreno goes back to Tedesco. Works it to Ross, who stepped in. Ball out to Gertz. Who can we find? David Okorie would be lurking there. We knew he would. That's exactly where he's bound to be. And he tucks one away. That's his first in the Champions League. I think he's 4th of the season. Didn't see the message as it popped up. But I'm really... Look at that little step in there he did as well. Questioning that defender. Are you coming with me? Turns out he wasn't. And he just taps that home from close range. Absolutely superb. Can we make it 3 before half-time? Saying that, they've got a corner. Concentrate. Clipped. He's found a place, come back out to the edge of the area. He's stepped in and he's fired wide, but it wasn't a million miles away, that. It wasn't a million miles away. They're reminding us that there's still a threat. I think .07's probably a bit harsh when it comes to that chance at goal. But we approach half-time. Anything else in the tank for us, as we've had 10 shots, but only 6 of them have hit the target. Half-time and 2-0. Dressing room, chill, relax. Relax. We've created loads and the scoreboard reflects that. Nice and calm. Nice and calm. I am going to give Scariglia the rest that he needs, and we're going to send Riggy on to go and do that job. That's the only change we're going to make at half-time, and it's purely based on fitness. Knowing that that's what we wanted to do even earlier than we've had the chance to do it in reality. Second half is underway here at the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium. What can we do? Can we put these to the sword? Corner again. Amarilla. It's gone to the back post this time, and it's found Rosa, but this time it just glides over the crossbar. Maybe scrapes the top net in there to give a little bit of a ripple. 60 minutes, another corner. Amarilla again, this time from that left-hand side. Clipped, back post, Bozza's there. But Rosa seems to get the finish. I'm not entirely sure how that panned out. But he tucks away and will absolutely take it, particularly given the thoughts we had pre-game. Oh, yeah, absolutely. He jumped from a crowd and will take that. Nods in the back post, 3-0. That probably puts the tide beyond Zielinski, which is great to see, and we're going to make a couple of changes as we approach 70 minutes. There we go. Let's go and do that now then. Ferreira we're going to give some game time to because he's desperate to play, and we know he is. Tarul, you're going to come on and play in that role for me. Who else can we throw in just to give players a rest, really, more than anything else? What will we do? Tommy Field, come in and have a game. Come in and have a game. And we'll just leave it there, I think, because I want to give Okorie the best chance of scoring more goals at this level, really. Zielinski look to make a couple of changes themselves now, which is understandable. They're 3-0 down. They're probably thinking of their league while they're at it. Tarul's on the ball. Comes back inside to Tedesco, who finds his centre-half partnership in Rosa. Back to Tedesco. Short 5-yard ball this time to Rosa. Remembering he's left-footed, he's had to play that with the outside of his foot. Ferreira cuts inside. Clips. A bit deep for a Leaf there, but a Leaf deals with it. Back inside to Chris Rigg. Inside to Tommy Fields. And the youngster fires in from the edge of the area. He finds a corner of the goal. What a moment for the boy. His first foray in Champions League football, just like David Okorie, and he nets. Superb little pullback from Chrissy Rigg, and he just passes it in that far corner and challenges the keeper to get down quick enough, and the challenge was not accepted by Masovic. 4-0. Kick-off highlight though for Zorinsky as they look to try and keep the ball for a little while. Back to the goalie. Are we going to press? No, we're going to hold our shape. Good. Long ball. It's found that name I can't see. Rebnik maybe? Abyss down that left-hand side. Looking to try and penetrate, but he's had to go back. Zukic into Abyss again. He's cut inside this time, and he's found the corner of the goal with a lovely finish. That's not what we wanted to see. The centre-halves are doing a conga. Checking for... He couldn't possibly have been offside. How is that even remotely possible to have been offside? What are they saying? That Abyss maybe ran across the line of the defenders? No. No. Never seen it. Don't know what we were complaining about. We just didn't track our runners. Okay, yeah, we've seen the goal now. Let's move on, people. 4-1. Not ideal. Not ideal. I'd have liked a clean sheet, but in terms of putting the team to the sword at the opposite end, we've done that. 3 XG with 4 goals. 18 shots, 11 of them on target, and we run out absolutely deserved winners. We got the chance to give a load of players some minutes, which is great at this level, and we've seen 2 players debuting in Champions League and scoring goals. Fantastic, outstretched arms, well done, good win for us, and it is, because it keeps us in that top 8. There are a few better things than being in the middle of a club where the morale's high. How long can you continue that? Well, Mark, let me tell you, it's the sort of thing we need to take advantage of. What did I make of Tom Field's goal? It's a top goal and he deserved it. We just did, didn't we, Mark? That's what we talked about. And Places Scheme going is a moment of real quality. Let the lad enjoy it. Let the lad enjoy it. 4 games, 10 points. What did I say? I thought we were in 3 games. That's good, isn't it? Not entirely sure where we are. So 10 points from 12. 10 points from 12. The only team in the Champions League to have maintained that flawless record is Barca. So we're keeping good company because we're up there with Inter, Dortmund, Madrid, AC Milan. We're in a good place. Benfica could potentially keep that record too, couldn't they? They've got to take on a team, and that will potentially give them the opportunity to sit on 12 points as well. But we're in a good place. We're in a good place, and long may that continue. Superb result. Okay, let's have a look at where we are. Oh, we've had to give Walking 150 grand. That's a shame, but I think it was more than worth it for that goal. 2.4 million. Yes, and I'm aware he's tired. That's fine. Chrissy, you go and do that job for me. Let's have a look at the schedule then. Next up, we've got City, but then we've got, oh my God, 2 absolute monsters in the Champions League. Wowzers. We've got Napoli, and then we've got Barcelona. And I think that is where the wheat from the chaff will be separated, because actually that's a massive game. It's at the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium. Wowzers. Wowzers. Okay, right. You're going to rejoin us for the Napoli game, okay, where we'll travel over to Italy and we'll take those boys on. We'll see how that pans out. If it's a quick game, we might do a double header. If not, you will still definitely see the Barcelona game, of course. I hope you've enjoyed that. I've loved it. Thank you for joining me on this journey, and I will catch you all in the next one. Take care.